Last month, former TLC's 19 Kids and Counting star Josh Duggar was sentenced to 151 months, a little over 12 years, behind bars. After his sentencing, he was going to be transferred to a federal prison facility. Now, there's an update on his status. Is he still in jail in Arkansas? Or has he been transferred to a federal facility now? Keep reading to get all of the details. Back in the spring of 2021, Josh was arrested on child pornography charges. He then went to trial in November and was found guilty of both receiving and possessing child pornography. His sentencing date was in May. Throughout the entire situation, Josh Duggar's wife, Anna, has stood by his side. The couple shares 7 kids: Mackenzie, Michael, Marcus, Meredith, Mason, Mariella, and Madison. Naturally, fans are curious about what's next for Josh, Anna, and their kids. Now, an update is available about whether Josh is in federal prison yet. According to The Sun, Josh Duggar has still not been transferred to a federal prison at this time. An insider familiar with the legal source claims that this is nothing out of the ordinary. It's simply due to prisons being full right now. The source tells The Sun, "It's a waiting game, and that's normal. The jail has no control over when the federal government transports him out of Washington County." The insider states, "Jails are crowded. It takes time to decide on a facility, find an open bed, arrange transfer, and more. The system moves slow. It's impossible to know a timeline." At Josh Duggar's sentencing, 2 specific federal prisons were mentioned. At the time, it was undecided which facility Josh would be sent to. So, the insider notes, prisons and jails are jam-packed. The 2 facilities they are asking for are small, like 1,700 people small. So, at this point, Josh is still in Arkansas. It's unclear when he will head to a federal facility and whether there will be an official update on that anytime soon. So, did you assume Josh Duggar might already be in a federal facility? Does any of this surprise you? Tell us your thoughts in the comment section below. Josh Duggar, the eldest son of the once beloved Duggar family, has been the center of a highly publicized legal saga that has cast a long shadow over the Duggar family's carefully constructed image. After being convicted on charges related to child pornography in December 2021, Josh was sentenced to over 12 years in federal prison in May 2022. Since then, fans and critics alike have been closely following the details of his incarceration. The question on many minds remains: has Josh Duggar been transferred to federal prison, or is he still in a holding facility? Josh Duggar's legal troubles began in April 2021 when federal agents raided his car dealership in Arkansas. Investigators alleged that Duggar had downloaded and possessed explicit material involving minors, including some of the most disturbing content agents had encountered in their careers. The subsequent trial painted a grim picture of Duggar's actions. Despite his legal team's vigorous defense, the jury delivered a guilty verdict after just a few hours of deliberation. This outcome led to his sentencing in May 2022, where a judge handed down a 151-month prison term. Immediately after his conviction, Josh Duggar was remanded to the Washington County Detention Center in Fayetteville, Arkansas. This local facility served as a temporary holding center while the Federal Bureau of Prisons, BOP, determined where he would serve his sentence. Inmates convicted of federal crimes are rarely housed in local jails long-term. Instead, they are transferred to federal prisons designated based on factors like security level, available programs, and the inmate's history. After sentencing, federal inmates are often subject to a bureaucratic process before being transferred to a long-term facility. For Duggar, this process likely involved evaluation by the Bureau of Prisons. Federal officials assess Duggar's case to determine the most suitable prison. Factors such as security needs, proximity to family, and access to specific rehabilitation programs would have been considered. Placement recommendations. Duggar's legal team may have requested placement at a facility closer to his wife, Anna Duggar, and their 7 children. However, the final decision rested solely with the BOP. Awaiting transport. Federal inmates often face delays in transport due to logistical challenges, including availability of resources and the coordination of multiple transfers. By mid-2022, reports confirmed that Josh Duggar had been transferred to the Federal Correctional Institution, FCI, Seagoville in Texas. This medium-security prison, located about 20 miles southeast of Dallas, is known for housing inmates convicted of sex offenses. FCI Seawald also offers rehabilitation programs tailored to individuals convicted of similar crimes. FCI Seawald was likely chosen for several reasons. Specialized programs. The prison offers the Sex Offender Management Program, SOMP, which focuses on rehabilitation and education for inmates convicted of sex-related crimes. While participation in such programs is not mandatory, it could potentially influence Duggars' future parole eligibility. Proximity to family. While Texas is still a significant distance from Arkansas, it's closer than many other federal facilities. This placement allows for the possibility of occasional visits from Anna Duggar and the children. Security level. As a medium security facility, FCI Seawald is suited to inmates who are not considered highly dangerous but still require a structured environment. Josh Duggar's life at FCI Seawald is far from the privileged, insulated world he once inhabited. Federal prison is a regimented environment with strict rules, schedules, and minimal privacy. Daily routine. Duggar's day likely starts early, with lights on around 6 a.m. Inmates are required to work, attend educational programs, or participate in other activities during the day. Limited contact with family. While Duggar can receive mail and make limited phone calls, visits are heavily restricted and monitored. Anna has reportedly visited him several times, often sparking public interest and debate about her continued support. Inmate dynamics. As someone convicted of child pornography charges, Duggar is at a heightened risk for harassment or violence from other inmates. However, being housed in a facility with other sex offenders may mitigate some of these risks. Throughout this ordeal, Anna Duggar has remained one of Josh's most steadfast supporters, attending court hearings and publicly standing by his side despite the damning evidence presented against him. Since Josh's incarceration, Anna has kept a low profile, primarily sharing cryptic Bible verses and occasional family updates on social media. Critics argue that she's living in denial, while supporters admire her loyalty to her marriage vows. Reports suggest that Anna has made trips to Texas to visit Josh, though the frequency of these visits is unclear. With 7 young children to care for, Anna undoubtedly faces immense challenges as she navigates life without Josh's presence at home. Josh Duggar's sentence of 151 months equates to approximately 12.5 years. With good behavior, he could be eligible for release after serving about 85% of his sentence, meaning he could be out in roughly 10.5 years. Upon release, Duggar will face 20 years of supervised release with strict conditions, including mandatory monitoring of his internet usage and limitations on his interactions with minors. The Duggar family has largely remained silent about Josh's transfer to federal prison, choosing instead to focus on other aspects of their lives. Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar released a brief statement following Josh's conviction, expressing their heartbreak and reaffirming their commitment to supporting his wife and children. Some of Josh's siblings, including Jinger and Jill Duggar, have been more outspoken, condemning his actions and emphasizing their prayers for the victims of abuse. Jinger, in particular, has distanced herself from her family's teachings and written about the toxic elements of their upbringing. Josh Duggar's transfer to federal prison has sparked mixed reactions from the public. Critics argue that his sentence isn't harsh enough given the severity of his crimes, while others express relief that he's finally facing accountability. Meanwhile, Duggar loyalists continue to defend him, claiming that he was unfairly targeted or set up. These voices are in the minority, but they underscore the complexity of public opinion surrounding the Duggar family.